this next section of our training. This is a super important piece of how you're going to grow your business over the next few days, months, and even years. The fuel to your business is what we call your list. Okay, this is the thing that it's kind of going to be a living piece of your business. You're going to be adding to this. You're going to be helping other people create their lists. And these lists are what are going to help me ensure that you and your future RAIN partners have success in the business. But it's important to understand how to put the list together and how to utilize the list. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Your list is the gas that's going to make sure that you get to where you want to be. Your goals, the reason why you're joining RAIN could be a bunch of different reasons, right? But the main pieces that will make sure that you get to where you want to be is this list. This is the basics and the basis to everything that we're going to be doing here in the next few days, months, and years, okay? So what are we going to do? We want to start with your top 15 contacts, okay? Who are those top 15 people that you know that you would just absolutely love to have in your business, okay? Why do we want to start with your top and your best contacts? Is because we want to create a foundation to your business with leaders, right? People that are motivated, people that are that people want to follow, right? That they're real true leaders of people, that they've got, you know, maybe even resources to invest, because we want to make sure that we do this right, that we create a solid foundation to your business. So we're going to start with your top 15 contacts, but really what we want to do is kind of whittle that down to your top 5, right? The best of the best. Who are those people that you want to do business with? We want to start there, okay? Now we're going to go through an exercise, and we want to make sure that you guys all go through this, okay? This is how you're going to put your list together. The industry, you know, the averages that we've seen and you know, studies have gone and have come out that the average person knows about 250 people. Now, obviously, there's some that know a lot more, and even some that know a few, you know, less than 250. But on average, people know about 250 people. Now, if you think about this, if everybody knows 250 people, 2 degrees of separation, okay? So that maybe that's your brother and then your brother's friend. 2 degrees of separation. We're talking about people knowing, you know, you having access to about 62,000 people, okay? That's a lot of people. So, you know, using this strategy that we're going to be talking about, you will never run out of people to talk to if you follow what we're going to be talking about, okay? So it's important that we do this. And this memory jogger, the whole purpose of this is just to get names on paper right in front of you so you can physically see who are the people that you know, who are the people that they know, who are the people that you've run into in the past. We want to make sure that we get those people on paper, okay? Now, the purpose of this is it's going to create leads, right? It's going to create people that we can go out and talk to. This will bring many, you know, other people into mind as we're going through this process. You're going to think of people like, oh yeah, I remember, you know, so-and-so who knows so-and-so, or I had lunch with this person that knows that person, right? This process will be a good tool to help remind you of who you may be able to talk to in the future. But the idea is to get as many of these people on paper as possible, okay? Now remember this, the more people that you share Seed Nutrition with, okay, the more people that you're going to have that will have the chance to make a decision on what they want to do. Do they want to be customers, or do they want to be, you know, RAIN partners, distributors? We want to have as many people join as possible. So obviously the more people that we talk to and share this with, the better chance that we're going to have to be successful, right? And have other people join our business. And we're going to talk about that strategy here in the next couple of videos, because we don't need a whole lot of people to be successful in this. Because like we just talked about, with a couple of people, it will open avenues to a lot more people, and that just continues to snowball, and we'll get more and more people involved and have more and more people hear about what we're doing at RAIN International. Now, it's important to remember this, okay? And this is one of the things that sometimes people forget when they get started in a business like this is when you bring in a new person, okay, into the business, you're not just bringing in that person, but you're bringing in every single person that those people know, okay? You're sponsoring a circle of influence, okay? Who do they know? Who are those people? Who do they know, right? It's not just that one person that's joining the business. You're actually bringing in a whole new circle of influence that will open up avenues and probably take you into countries and cities and states that you may have never even imagined, right? It's a reality, guys. It's happened to me personally. I know it's happened to a lot of you already, but this is going to be the thing that continues to drive your business. Okay, so let's talk about the memory jogger and the things that we want to be thinking about. Here's just a list of people maybe in your business world and the things that you've done, things to help you just be reminded of those people that you may know that you've worked with in the past, that maybe have done other businesses, some people that may, people that are motivated, people that have been leaders, maybe some ex-bosses. This is just some things to help you spark some memory on who you can put on your list. Okay. Now let's think about your friends. Who are the friends that you have? Who are the friends that you hang out with? What are the friends that you had in college? Maybe from your childhood, vacations that you've gone on, past roommates. Again, these are just tips and things to help you get names on your list, okay? Because again, this list is your fuel. We want to make sure that we fill that out with as many people and as many names as possible before we get started, okay? Now, let's talk about the community, the people that live around you, right? Who are the people that you communicate with? Who are the people that you know? Today I ran into one of my friends I haven't seen in a long time, just by out running around. But talking to him sparks, a bunch of other names that I've known in the past from that relationship. So be thinking of who are the people in your community that you can talk to, that your hairstylist, your real estate, your neighbors, people, coaches, teachers, doctors, nurses, people that you know in the community. Write their names down. Okay. Now, in general, who are the other people that you know, right? Who are the other people that you've run into in the past? Okay. These are just some tips to help you make sure that you get names on that list. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to strategize and organize this list. Okay. We're going to put your contacts into groups, and we're going to group them by family first. Okay. Then friends. Okay. Then people that you know from business, and then people that you know in the community. Okay. So you're going to group these people into lists. Okay. Now, once you've got these people in names in lists, okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to organize each one of these 4 sections, okay, with the names in these lists. We're going to organize them by who knows who, okay? Who knows whom. So talking about your family, for example, if I've got a list of my family members, I'm going to make sure that I got them all in there, and I know who knows who, right? Where are those connections? In my friends groups, I may have a group of friends, that I do certain things with, and then I've got another group of friends that maybe are in a different realm. They don't know each other, right? But organize them in groups of who knows each other, okay? We need to organize it that way. Okay, then once we have that, okay, then we're going to go in step 3, organize who has the most influence over the other people in that group, okay? So we'll organize it like that. So let's go through this and organize this, and I'll show you kind of what we're talking about right here, okay? So step number 1, from this, you should at least have 25 or so names in each one of these categories, okay? Now, what we're going to do, now that we've got them organized in friends, family, business, and community, okay, now we're going to take that list and we're going to start organizing it by, like you said, what we were talking about before, who knows whom, right? We need to separate and kind of start driving this list so we can really get it organized and be strategic on when we start calling these people. So, for example, here's my friends list, right? These are the people that are my friends that I had from the previous step. Now, I need to organize them by who knows whom, right? So I know that John knows Veronica Veronica and John know George. George knows Veronica, you know, and Mary knows John, and Sam knows Mary and George, right? So I get all these people that know each other in the same group, okay? I organize them that way. So now that I have this kind of new division of this new list, okay, now what I want to do is I want to order that by who has more influence over the people in the group, okay? So I think about this and I think, okay, well, Veronica, she's the most kind of dynamic person that I know out of this group, and she is super influential. If, you know, Veronica decides to do something, everyone follows. So Veronica is going to be number one. Then Mary is right underneath that, because Mary is one of those people that everybody loves. She's super funny. We're going to put her in number two. John's a super successful guy. He'd be willing to follow Veronica and Mary, so we're going to put John next. Then we find out, okay, well, Sam's one of those guys that's pretty influential, but not quite as much as John and Mary and Veronica, so he's going to go in position 4, and then we organize, and then George is kind of the last one, right? So we organize this list by who is the most influential. Okay, now it's time to start actually step 4, talking to the people, okay? Now, how are we going to do that? Okay, we're going to start with the top and work our way down, and there's a reason for this, guys. Let's just use this as an example. So let's say I talk to Veronica, right? And I talk to Veronica, we get her, some information on the product. She's interested, not quite sure if she wants to do it yet. And so we go to kind of the next person. We go to Mary, right? Talk to Mary. Mary, we show her the videos. We do the presentations. She's kind of sitting on the fence, doesn't know if she wants to do it or not. But we tell Mary, hey, Mary, you know what? We're going to talk to John. We want you to be involved, but, if you need to take some time, whatever, right? We don't want to push anybody, but we want to do this strategically. So we talk to John, talk to Sam, and nobody signs up, and we finally get to George, right? And George says, yeah, I get this. I need money. I want to do this. I want to get healthy. And he decides to join Rain as a Rain partner, okay? Well, what am I going to do next? I'm going to go back to Sam, right? Because I told Sam that I was going to talk to George. And use that, because you can help as you talk to your friends. Just tell them what you're going to do. Hey, Veronica, I'm going to talk to Mary and John and Sam and George, but I want you first, right? If she doesn't do it, then I go to Mary. Mary, I'm going to go talk to John, Sam, and George. I'd love to have you help them, right? And you'll probably get some of those people in that order because they want to be first, right? But even if you don't get them, you can go back to them after the fact, because if George signs up, you can go back to Sam and say, hey, Sam, I got George. George is going to do this with me, but I had a plan, and I want you to be able to work with George. And so I want to give you the opportunity to get in before I get George signed in. What's Sam going to do? Well, he knows George, right? So he's like, hey, you know what? Okay, I'll get in too. Just because he's got somebody now already out of the gate. Okay, then you've got Sam and George now in your business, and you go back to John, and what's John going to do? John will probably join because Sam and George have joined. We go to Mary and then Veronica, and the same thing happens. So guys, as we build this and use this strategy, okay, you're going to find out that you're going to have more success if you organize it and be strategic on how you call people that know each other. It's super, super important. Think about this with your family, right? Who are the most influential with your family members, right? You're going to want to call them in that order. Most influential first, to the bottom, and then if you don't, work it back up to the, if you don't get anybody, then work it back up to the top, okay? Now, remember this, circles of influence, okay? And the power of this. When you sign someone up, guys, if you're doing this right, you're never going to run out of people to talk to, okay? Like I said at the beginning, most people know about 250 people, but let's just say we only have people that know 100 people. Okay, if they have a names list of 100 people and we contact all 100, let's just say we only get 7 out of the whole 100 that join us. Okay, 7 out of 100, that's 7%. My experience, it's a whole lot better than that. Okay, but let's just say it's 7 only. Well, if we get 7, right, people, how many do each one of those know? Well, 250, but we're going to say they only know 100. So now we're talking about 700 people that these people know, right? Okay, well, if we get, again, the numbers stay the same and we only get 7 out of each one of those groups of 100, that's another 49 people that join our business. Okay, well, if all 49 of those people know 100 people, right? That's 4,900 people that we now have the ability to go and talk to, right? Now, out of that 4,900, let's say, again, only 7 join. That's another 343 distributors that join our business. Okay, and that just continues to go on and on and on. That's how you don't run out of people to talk to. You've got to be able to help people understand this process of creating the list. This is the gas that's going to get you and your new Rain partners and your entire business to where you want it to go. If you want financial freedom, you want to be successful in here, the list is the key. Everybody that joins, the new people that join, they need to understand this video. They need to understand how to work the list, how to create the list, and continue to add to the list. This is a process that will not stop. We always want to be adding new names to our list because, again, remember this, circles of influence. Every time you bring in one new person, okay, you're bringing in a big, big asset to your business because you've got a lot of people now that you can go talk to. So make sure you get your list, guys. It's the fuel to your success.